Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is a part 2 of Multimedia Principle. Here we have covered 6 principle in last lecture, so we will starting from where we left. So let's revise what we have done. So we were learning about Mayer's multimedia principle that will enhance your presentation slide, even e-learning slide, whatever you are making, that will make your slide effective. So as we let's revise quickly, then we will deep down another 6 principles. So first is a coherence principle. We know that whenever you are creating your slide, support it with learning things. You should remove any extraneous material from your slides, right? Let's take some example to quickly cover. So first was the coherence principle, where you should remove any extraneous material from your slides, right? Like here, the thing is about cleaning, right? So here we have added text, added design element, so which is not relevant, right? So we have covered this. Now, signaling principle is just we have to highlight the thing we want to focus. Like let's say I am recording this session. I want your focus to this principle, so I will highlight this. This is a one way, or second way is mapping, as we understood from last lecture. Third is redundancy principle. You should not repeat the thing. Like you are repeating in the voiceover, you are repeating in the slide same text. So that's confuse the learner where to focus on, because we at a time we can process very few, like text or voiceover. Now moving ahead, there is spatial contiguity principle that focuses that if you are making your slide, keep the related things together, right? When you are like, you should, for example, so as you know that signaling principle, you can highlight the things, right, where you want to be focused. And then third is redundancy principle. You know that you should not repeat if you're talking about this, and it has the voiceover part, so you don't need voiceover same text and this, right? This is a good study material I found from slides here you can use. So this is, I'm talking about spatial contiguity principle. It says that group the related things. Let's say in a slide, there are some illustration of books and the text written, like writing your review of related literature. So here in this slide, there is very much empty space. This is wrong. This slide is not following the multimedia spatial contiguity principle. Hey, writing your review of related literature is grouped with the books, so we connect the idea, connect the dot for better learning. That is the contiguity principle, that you should keep your text and images together, group. Now another is a temporal contiguity principle, that is just you have to synchronize your illustration with the voiceover. Let's say book, for illustration of book, this is a image, and this is coming at 1 minute 10 seconds, so it should come at 1 minute 10 second, not at 1 minute after 5 second, when the content is voiceover says book and you are presenting it 5 minutes later. That is not a better learning. That is a simple rule, right? That we call temporal contiguity principles. Right. Avoid showing an animation of a process after describing it through narration. Like you have explained what is the photosynthesis is from the voiceover, and after some time you are showing the chart, and so that is like basically we know that, I guess. Now there are some principles for managing essential processing in multimedia learning. So segmenting principle is that people learn better when a multimedia message is presented in user page segment rather than a continuous unit. Now this is important. Like we have to chunk our modules, right? We have a content, piece of content, and we should not present all in one go. We should allow the access to the learner. It is possible that if there are 5 topics in the module, learner may have a good understanding over 2 topics. So better you should provide the chunks: module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5, and each is chunked into 5-minute module. So we can segment, we can separate the modules. When we click there, we will learn about that specific portion. Let's some deep dive into theory part segmenting, because we didn't cover in the last session. So segmenting principle says people learn better from a multimedia lesson is presented in user page segments rather than a continuous unit. If you are watching a YouTube video like this, so there is a not segment, right? For this particular example, if you want to make your YouTube tutorial a segmenting, follow that segmenting principle, you can give a timestamp for each principle I am describing. This is auto generated. So let's say I know about specific principles, I just want to know about segmenting principle, so I can go to timestamp and click there and learn that part. Although learn only that part, right? No, so that will save my time, that will fulfill my learner needs as well. Now another principle is the, so multimedia instruction for this principle is provide user with the ability to regulate the speed of the lesson. Even you should provide your speed control. Like, this principle is about giving control to your learners, either through speed control or through button that prompt to next section. Divide lengthy section of content into smaller, more manageable segments. Here, pre-training principle is the our seventh principle, like 8, 9, I don't know, but yeah, pre-training principle is that whenever you are starting the course, you should explain or give a brief about the pre-training concept, the concept that will help in the course. Let's say uh, I am making a course on how to drive a car, so you should have a password for that, right? Password, you should know basic of knowledge. So pre-training is that whenever you are doing any training that requires a specific prerequisite knowledge, you should explain them first. That will help throughout the entire course. Let's say if I am making a course on the artificial intelligence at workplace, how we use artificial intelligence in the workplace, the better thing is to explain the term buzzwords like what is artificial intelligence, what is agentic AI, augmented training, and all the stuff you can explain first, then which will be commonly used in the uh, chapters, right? So you should inform early to the learner. People learn more deeply from a multimedia message when they know the names and characteristics of the main concept, reduce cognitive load for the learners, and impart prior knowledge that can decrease the amount of processing required to comprehend the message. So basically, introduce essential terms and concepts before requiring learners to interact the primary lesson material. So that is all about pre-training. If you see the visual, we have to these to do this task, we have explained what is cast on, night, pearl, bind off, working yarn. So we have explained already. So we know the material. If you are teaching about how to do soldiering, so we will explain the all element required to do soldier and main the components for better understanding. And this is a kind of important for me. Now, next principle is the modality principles. People learn more deeply from a picture and spoken word than from picture and printed word. This is basically true. Like, we know that multimedia principle is explaining with the graphics. When we there is a two scenarios, we have a graphic and text only. Another is we have graphic and a voiceover that is explaining. Okay, so which is the better? Studies say that according to modality principle, and even with study, people learn better from the graphics plus the voice over, because it uses visual channel and listening channel. That is why this principle works. If there is only text and visual, we have to more focus more, right? Read everything out. That is why this principle. So whenever we are explaining about cooking, you should, here is if the voiceover, so we can see and voiceover. If there is a text, and so both are correct by their own, but the what works best for the learner is that modality, according to modality principle, you should add voiceover with your graphics rather than relying on the text. You can add tiny text, little bit text. We know about multimedia. Now, one is personalized training. Personalized training is relate to learners. Use the concept they have worked. Like if you are making a course on artificial intelligence, so ask the learner, like, have you ever used Chat GPT? What you can ask in between question that what is your experience? How long you are using the generative tools like Chat GPT? So if they feel the course relative, they engage more, their completion rate increases. So that is a simple principle. So people learn better from multimedia presentation when words are in conversational style rather than a formal style. Presenting information in a conversational tone can lead for better learning outcomes and higher level of engagement. So even you should use your language to the friendly, known to them, not the technical stuff. But here is one caveat that if you are making a technical course, so you can't use layman or compliance course, so you can't use conversational tongue. So basically it depends, but if possible you should consider that. Now, voice principle, it says you should use human voice over the artificial AI generated robotic voice, but I feel that this principle is now not needed, like, because artificial intelligence nowadays has efficiency to exactly sound like human, and there are paid model, free model that sounds great voice. Like for example, 11 labs is a perfect example. So this is a principle that focuses on voice principle, but I think it is not relevant nowadays. Now, image principle. So image people is, people do not necessarily learn better from multimedia lesson when the speaker image is added on the screen. So so we should not use speaker image, like who is presenting. We don't need, like a kind of a narrator. We should not use narrator, like we can use narrator on title screen when we are presenting the course, welcoming the course, but you should explain the concept with the graphic illustration, little text, not only the narrator. Talking head video doesn't sound very good, right? So here we have covered all the principles. If you want the study materials, you can ask me, and after that we will starting deep down about each aspect of instructional design and e-learning course development. We will start. We will be take the core concept from books, and we will see the practical implication. We will learn how people learn best, what best strategies we can adopt to enhance learning outcomes. After that we will covering like total of 10 books of best books of all time of instructional designer. We will learn about gamification and all. We will cover all essential books in a way that is applicable, you can immediately apply in your learning process. Thank you for today. I think we have covered the session very well. If you, in case if you have any doubt, you can comment down below, and you can hit, don't hit subscribe.